Hi there and welcome to Panning with Kezia. This is my first update for Pan That Palette 2022. The creator of this project is Ember F, and for the theme Size Matters, the creator was Jessica Lee. And for this Size Matter theme, you had to choose a big, bulky, or awkward palette to pan. I chose this iconic London. It is big and bulky. So first of all, I want to show you how it looked last month. I had barely used this palette. Some of the shades I had used up to 5 times, some I had not touched. So this is how it looked. And this is how it looks now. Now, as you can see, I have pretty much progress, and you can even see 2 pans here. This is so exciting. 1 week ago, I did not think I would hit pan. And this is so good because if I am to hit pan in every single shade, which is my goal for this project, then I have to hit at least 1 and sometimes 2 palettes, no pans, every single month. So I am on track, which is exciting. And that 1 is a matte and 1 is a shimmer. That makes me excited as well because the mattes are notoriously harder to pan, let's say. And I'm going to walk you through the usage, how many times I've used each shadow, how I used it maybe, and you're going to see some pictures because I like to see pictures of how people are using their shadows. So they will pop up here and there while I am talking about this. So the first shade in the nude here, I had used 3 times prior to this, and now I have used it 21 more times, with a total of 24 times used. And you can maybe see a little dip forming, but I have used it very like evenly. So I haven't been digging into this one that much. I have also been kind of going between Peaches and Dreams and in the nude. So that's why you will see a lot of usage on both, but I either use both of them or one of them. But as we will come to later, Marshmallow, I use that every single time I did my makeup. So that is kind of the difference between these 2 shadows and this Marshmallow. So the next shade is Champagne Chick, which I have used 9 times this month, and I hadn't used this before at all. So you can see a little bit of a dip going on, not too much, but it is there. Now, when we come to the 24K Gold, I've used this 1 time prior to this project and 4 times this month, with a total of 5 times. But you can still see a dip, which is nice because this is pretty hard to use, I think. Gold has never been the color I like. I tend to go for silver more than gold, but I did find one way that I really wanted to do from the beginning to use this, like one look where I used this dark deep soul and the 24K Gold, and I wanted to do that from the beginning. It's an idea I had, but it is kind of a statement look. It is very dark, not something that I am used to, so it took several weeks of me working up the courage to even use that combination. But as you can see here in the picture, it actually turned out pretty well, I think. And this is one of those few combinations that I feel stand out from the other looks that I make with this palette, because when you go close, yes, you can see that I've used different colors, different shades, but you can't really see the difference 2 meters from me, so that's a little sad. It was much more neutral, this palette, than I had expected. Not many of these colors actually gave off that deep color. There were only 2 of these that were actually dark, and that is the Deep Soul and the Velvet Crush. And those really gave off a lot of color. I had to just like tap my brush in there. I didn't have to use much at all, while the glitters I really had to pack on if I wanted the color and not only the glitter. So I think Deep Soul will be very hard to hit pan on. I have used this 3 times prior to this project and 17 times this month. with a total of 20 uses. Like I said, this is very deep and I use it to deepen up the crease. And since this is kind of these are the only two dark colors, I use these a lot. You can see a dip beginning to form at least. But a week ago, I can only see some disturbance. So that is exciting. The next shade I had used 6 times in total, 1 prior to this project and 5 times this month. This Copper Me Fancy I have used 2 times this month, but I realized that Copper Me Fancy, Bronze Bay, and Rags to Riches, they're very, very similar when I swatch them. So I decided that I would focus on one shade at a time, and right now I'm at Bronze Bay. As you can see, there's a dip forming there, but these two only have 2 uses on them. So then the next one is the Ultimate Tan. This is a light brown shade, and I've used this 16 times, 13 this month and 3 times before that, so 16 times. And the Closing Party I've used 1 time before this and 5 times this past month. Next row, I hadn't used Bronze Bay at all before this project. Now I've used it 10 times, and you can see that dip, like I said. When it comes to Taupe de Taupe, this is like a middle brownish shade. I've used this 14 times in total, 13 this month, 1 time prior to that. And then we come to the Merlot Monday, Merlot Mondays, which is kind of the only color in here. This and Bellini are the only two that can give me anything else than like a brownish shade. And of course this gold, but it's kind of brownish or bronzy, this whole palette, except for these 2 shades. So I do appreciate these for some variation. This I have used 19 times, 15 this month and 4 prior to this. And then we move over to the Velvet Crush, which, like I said, gave off a lot of color. And I've used this 17 times, 3 times prior to this project and 14 times this month. I am really, really excited about the progress I've made and how many times I actually could use this. These shades really do go well together. So it was not a hard thing to use them at all. I really like this palette. I like it more and more almost. Then we come to the Peaches and Dreams, not creams. Peaches and Dreams. You can see you can probably not see that. There's a little bit of a dip going on, but you can almost not see it in reality either, so I don't expect you to see it. I've used this 23 times, 22 this month and 1 prior. 23 times and I can barely see anything. And I use it quite a lot when I use it as well. That's it's really interesting to see how much easier it is to pan those shimmers in comparison to the mattes. I find that is interesting as a newbie to all of this. Then we come to Peach Fizz, which is this this shimmer here. I've used this 10 times, 2 times prior to this project and 8 times afterwards. So 10 times. Then we have the Bellini, and it comes off a little bit more red than it actually is in the camera. I don't know why. It is like a lighter shade of this, a little bit more to the red than the mauve, but it almost looks like orangey red in the camera, which is not really how it looks in the reality. Anyway, I can't almost see any dip forming here either, but I have used it 19 times, this Bellini. 15 times this month and 4 before. And then we have the Rags to Riches. Like I said, I've only used it twice, once prior to this project and once this month. Then we have Icon, in which I hit pan. I hit pan after 20 uses, but I have used it 21 times. 16 this month and 5 before. Marshmallow is, like I said, the shade that I use every single time to clean up the edges, to correct something, to smooth out anything. I use it all the time. I love it. It's a shade that, you know, will probably go in every single palette the first thing. So yeah, I have used this 32 times plus 5 before. So 37 uses. And maybe you're wondering, how can you use it 32 times in 31 days? I'm going to tell you. Sometimes I do my makeup twice. Sometimes I don't do it at all. But this month, I think maybe I went without makeup like 1 or 2 days. And then I wore makeup. And I use it almost every single time, like I said. And I also work nights and days and sleep twice. So sometimes I want to reapply the makeup. So that's how I am able to make more progress than I think I would normally make on certain items. So 37 uses, I hit pan after 35 approximately. And yeah, it's kind of a big size pan as well. It's not that tiny. It was in the beginning. It was like 3 days ago. It was really tiny and I was like, oh, is that a pan? I didn't know that. I didn't know I would hit pan, and then I hit pan in this as well. And I was so happy. And then we move on to the Wonderland. I've used this 15 times in total, 12 times this month and 3 prior to this project. And you can see a nice dip going on. You can see that dip in Girl Boss as well. I thought this would be much more purple. Like, it looks a lot more purple here than it actually looks on the eyes, which is a little bit of a shame. I would have liked that color very much if it actually was that color, you know. I've used it 11 times in total, 7 times this month and 4 times prior. So that is where we're at after the first month ever of doing Pan That palette, and I am so excited. Like, look at this. It looks so good. Okay, so oh, maybe I should have it here so you can really see the comparison. So what do I think? What do I predict for next month's progress? I think these two would be really easy to hit pan on, but I want to wait with them a little bit because I do want to have them for summery looks. I also feel like one of these in the nude or Peaches and Dreams will have pan in them. And maybe I will try to get some use out of the Bronze Bay. I will try to hit pan in this. I think that is my goal, to hit pan in that one and just get more usage in total for the other pans. Because like I said, there are 3 of kind of the same color, so I want to hit pan on this so that I can move on and work on the next of the same shade. So that is my goal for next time. Also, because this is so neutral and I have been using this so much, I don't really want to get bored, so I am going to start panning those eyeshadows, or pan those eyeshadows, I think the project is called. So stay tuned for that, because that will be coming your way. Because like I said, my goal is to hit pan in all of this. My goal is not to use this up, but rather enjoy it and see how long it takes me to hit pan and see how much I enjoy it. And then I will just try to complement this with other colors and see how much I can hit pan in my whole collection. So that was the first update for Pan That palette. Let me know what you think about the progress. I am so stoked myself. I don't think I could wish for a better start than to hit 2 pans and see dips in most of the colors. Like, I'm proud of myself. If you can be proud of yourself for wearing makeup. But I do find it is very nice, and I can listen to the Bible, and it's just a nice time in the morning, you know? So I really, really enjoy that. So if you want to join me on this journey, please subscribe, like this video, and I hope I'll see you next time. Have a good week. Bye.